welcome back to a new video. So today I'm here with Dan.
Hi guys.
And both Dan and I are at university at the moment. So I'm going into my second year and Dan is going into his fourth year. So we just thought we'd film a video giving some advice to people who are starting university as freshers and some advice that we wish we'd have had before we started university. I study history at Durham University.
And I'm at Exeter. I do business management with a year in industry, and I just finished my year in industry, so I'm going into my final year.
So just for like the way we're going to structure the video, guys, we thought firstly we might talk about just like workload and time management with going into a new environment, being away from home and how to deal with having new pressures. Then we thought we'd move on to like talking about friendships and like how best it is to maybe socialise. And then we thought we'd speak about living away from home for the first time and obviously just pressures that come with university and maybe things that you hadn't perhaps anticipated.
Yeah, just general life and sort of the new experiences that you're likely to come across when you join university and how best to prep for them, really. And
we're going to do a cheeky mukbang for you guys as well. We're going to go to the McDonald's drive-thru.
Yes.
And also, guys, I will link it down below, but Dan is a YouTuber.
That's right. I haven't uploaded for about a year, but I'm going to try and upload soon.
So guys, we thought we'd tell you how Dan and I first became friends, because it's actually quite a unique situation. So Dan and I actually went to school together. We weren't in the same year. Dan's was the year above me, but we actually never ever knew each other or spoke to each other once while we were at school. We went on holiday, so Dan had literally just finished his A-levels and I had just done my first year in year 12. We bumped into each other on holiday at the bar. I remember you were standing with your mum, and I was at the bar and I said to you, oh my god, you look so familiar, like, do we know each other? We were basically on a cruise. I can't remember what country we were in. It must have been
it was a Mediterranean
Italy or
cruise.
Something. We were like, basically we realised that we'd gone to school together.
Yeah, and then that was.
And then we just we got chatting and stuff, and then we just stayed in contact. So yeah, pretty unusual. So it was quite funny actually, because there was somebody else on that holiday who was from our school, but slightly more controversial.
Oh yeah, that was.
She won't be watching this, so it's fine. But yeah,
I
feel like that was a big conversation starter for us.
Yes, yeah. That was a good cruise. I highly recommend a cruise if you haven't been on a cruise, just as a side note. I'm
not sure.
I'm going on one in December.
Really? With the fam? Where are you going?
Dubai.
Oh. Dan loves the holiday, guys. He goes on about 7 a year.
Can I get 20 nuggets, please?
Yeah, anything else?
What drink?
Do you want a drink? Just get Diet Coke.
And a Diet Coke and a Fanta, please.
Sorry, anything else for you?
No, that's alright.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Cool.
20 chicken nuggets, you sure?
That's the share box.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Is there barbecue sauce in there?
It was ketchup and spring curry.
We didn't specify, but yeah.
Have we got a straw? What did she say?
Apparently we said what ones we wanted, but I don't remember doing that. Actually, it's on film if they want to fight. But
here we go, guys. All we got was 20 chicken nuggets. There you go. Yeah. The first thing that we thought we would like touch on in this video, guys, is like dealing with workload and just like managing new types of work at university, and obviously like juggling that with having like new social commitments and just generally just trying to juggle everything, like making new friends at uni, try and settle in, but also taking on completely new types of work. The best advice that I could give to somebody that's coming to university, like freshers and everything, and something that I probably wish I'd have actually taken on more myself, is like first year doesn't count for a reason. If you get, you know, when you're like doing your essays, particularly like the first essays that you do, so at Durham the way it works is that the first block of essays that you do in first term, they are formative, so they don't count towards anything. They are literally just a practice. Actually use them to see, it's almost more of a positive to get more wrong, because then you can actually put those things right. So if you were just to go into like your first essays and like, I mean obviously if you got like a first in all of your essays, like that's great, but in a way it's almost quite good if you actually get things wrong, because then it's like you can then go to the teachers, find out where you need to improve and things like that. So definitely teach it as like, this is a year to find out where your weaknesses are and where your strengths are.
I agree. Yeah, it doesn't, like, well, the phrase that you'll probably hear quite a lot in first year is first year doesn't count, or you just need 40% to pass and all that.
I found that really frustrating though. Like, that used to annoy me when second years would be like, oh, it doesn't count. I would say, like, give it your best shot, because if you actually don't try that hard, you're kind of doing yourself an injustice, because I always feel like if you don't actually try that hard, the mark you get, then the feedback almost isn't reflected.
I think it's a bit of common sense as well. Obviously, if you've got like a deadline coming up and when it's due in like 2 days, don't go out in those 2 days. But I feel like I managed to do every social commitment I wanted to do, or sport or anything like that.
Dropped a chicken nugget, guys.
And still do decently well. Like, I needed a 2-1 to do my year in industry, and I got that. Times where, you know, you do like all-nighters or whatever, but when it came to exams, you just got to get your head down for a few weeks. I mean, that was my experience. I know every university is different, but yeah, I think you really can do everything. Don't stress too much though, because you won't get your first year back, and it's definitely been my favourite year.
Yeah, that is one thing I would say, like, treat it as the year where you like try everything. And also when it comes to like, so I definitely know that there were modules that I really didn't enjoy, and like certain aspects of history. I'm not a particularly great lover of political history. I much rather like economic and social. So I would say use it as like a year where you like give things that you maybe haven't done before a try, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. The next thing that we thought we would talk about is kind of just like meeting new people and generally friendships. So the biggest advice that I would give is literally just talk to everybody. So I think my experience of probably making friends was slightly more unique to maybe yours and to typical universities, because Durham is collegiate, whereas if you're actually living like at Exeter, it's like flats, isn't it?
Yeah, like halls
Yeah.
residence, yeah.
So obviously, unless you go to Oxbridge, Durham or York, they're the only ones to my knowledge that are collegiate. Then your experience might be pretty different. But for me, that was great, because it meant that I was living in, for first year, I was living with, so I go to St Mary's, there were over 200 people in my college. So for the whole year, it meant that I could go and sit with somebody new at lunch, I could go and sit with somebody new at dinner. I would like bump into people everywhere you go. So I did have the freedom to literally make friends with absolutely whoever I wanted. I think it's quite easy when you go into a new environment, when you like make a group as such, to feel secure in that group and then like kind of stick to it and feel like, oh, you don't want to branch out, because those people then might get closer, you might gradually like get pushed out of the group. Honestly guys, like, don't feel like that. Going to university, everybody's like that, a little bit older, people are more mature, and you will meet people in like really random ways. So like, I know that some of my like closest friends I didn't actually meet until like quite near to the end of second term. Your experience?
Yeah, I was quite lucky, because I know a lot of people say, oh, you don't meet your best friends in the first week or in the first few weeks, but I actually did. And I think I was lucky that my whole sort of block, we got to know each other through dinner times, because I was catered. So like breakfast and dinner, you just really get to know people and you just find your group, and that's pretty much stuck over the last 3 years. But having said that, I've also enjoyed branching out and made friends with people in my course. Like Abby said, you make friends from societies, stuff like that. So definitely really good to get involved in as many things as possible, because that's loads of different channels of friends, and you want that variation, because you don't want to be with the same people all the time.
No, yeah.
But having said that, of course, if you're, the flat that you're on, just they aren't your type of people, it's not the end of the world, because there's hundreds, thousands of other people to get to know. So don't kind of like give up on that idea in the first few weeks.
Like, something to bear in mind is that everybody deals with nervousness and anxiety differently. So like, I know that if I'm quite nervous in like, not even like nervous in a social situation, but obviously like when you start university, like you are a little bit apprehensive about making friends and stuff. I'm probably really chatty, which I think makes me come across as being like super confident. But other people then are completely different, and they're like really, really shy, and some people kind of isolate themselves. So I would say if like somebody comes across in kind of a random way, or that you notice that someone maybe like at dinner time, if somebody's like sitting on their own, or just like generally out and about, somebody looks like uncomfortable, they might turn out to be actually like a really great person, but they're just not great in like, you know, that initial social stage. So I would say like try and, you know, it is nice to be a nice person, like go and try and include people, just give everybody like a shot. So also like something that we could talk about in this section, guys, would be like that initial fresher stage. Do what you want to do, don't just follow your group. So like say if all of your group want to join one society and that's like not really your thing, don't be afraid to be like, oh guys, that's not really my thing, I'm gonna go and do, you know, like if all of your friends are joining like netball and you want to do lacrosse, like absolutely do your own thing, like make your experience like unique to you. Don't just feel like pressure to do things that other people are doing because you feel like, oh, there'll be like stigma if you don't do it or whatever. So the final thing that we thought we would talk about is just kind of like moving out of home and being away from your ordinary environment for the first time, and maybe like dealing with homesickness a little bit. So what was your like experience?
So yeah, obviously it's a massive change. There's so many changes going on, change of environment, change of people. It's huge, and it can be overwhelming at times, and I think expect to feel that, but understand that it's completely normal. But also you gotta remember, yeah, everyone's in the same boat, so you know you can talk to people, but just embrace it. It's a it's a new beginning. It's an exciting feeling. You know, change that anxiety if you can into sort of excitement. My just kind of advice with that would just be to throw yourself into everything you can. Don't let comfort sort of get in the way. If you have, say, boyfriend or girlfriend back home, or friends back home, family, would be naturally comfortable to go maybe back and see them, talk to them, instead of embracing the new life, because as humans you want that comfort. But this is just one of those occasions where you have to kind of go against that, because those initial few months and weeks are so vital to making those relationships, and also just for yourself at university. You want to give your all to your course and sports, societies, all that. You will regret not giving your all to that if you don't. So that'd be my advice.
Going to university, you're going to meet like absolutely like-minded people in personality, in like academic potential, in ambition, in drive, in every way. The people that you want to surround yourself with, they will be there and you can meet them. And equally, like anything that you want to get involved in that you maybe haven't had the chance to do already at home, you can do that. So absolutely just like embrace the situation.
Any change is uncomfortable, but this is a good one. This is good, and in the long run, it's pretty positive. So
okay guys, so we're gonna end the video here. I hope you've benefited from watching that and like taking something from the advice that Dan and I have given. Obviously this is just our own opinion and is like reflective of our own experiences. Everybody's experience will be different. Please give this video a like, and obviously subscribe, and like leave a little comment down below. Let us know like what universities you're going to. Comment like what your experience was, if you're nervous, if you're excited. Yeah, so thanks for watching guys, and we will see you in my next video. Bye. Do you know crispy creme? Fun fact, you know, because the K on the crispy and the creme has got a little swivel, like instead of it being like a normal K, it's cut, the K at the bottom bit comes round. I used to think it was a H, so I used to think it was crispy.
What?
Literally
I've
until
never
I was
seen
about.
that.
I'll show you. Look, the K joins to the R, so I used to think it was crispy creme until I was about 15, and somebody was like, "No, it's crispy." There's your Fanta. Are they coconut?
Yeah. I mean,
Really?
don't really rate it, but gotta save the environment.
Oh, do you know, this is actually quite interesting. So my friend Safi, guys, who has never been in one of my videos, but she went to school with us and she goes to Exeter. She's cheerleading social sec at Exeter Uni, and her campaign when she applied to be social sec was that she would have plastic-free socials.
Really?
Yeah,
How's she going to do that?
plastic straws, paper straws.
Paper straws, paper cups. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if she's being a bit of a politician and like making a huss that she's not going to implement, but
No, I'm sure she will actually. That's pretty good. And they'll definitely call her out if she doesn't, because
yeah.
yeah.
So now it's on the video, Saf. You actually need to do it.
I'll be looking out on Wednesday nights. If I see a bit of plastic, I'll be on it.
Oh, barbecue. Barbecue sauces. She also gave us tomato ketchup.
I hate it.
No, I don't eat that
I
either.
hate it. I don't really like
And
sauces.
sweet curry.
That sounds disgusting.
Also, can you just smell that, please?
Not for me.
That's disgusting. Should we try it with the chicken nugget and see what it's like?
I'll let you take your opinion.
This is the sweet curry.
I hate that.
I quite like curry sauce though. Have you ever had it?
I hate anything like that. Don't know. I'll probably get called boring, but like, I just.
At Durham, obviously because it's in the northeast, they give us curry sauce with chips. I actually quite like it.
Very strange.
No, not at all. Where should we put that? Because that's going to smell your car. And put it outside. And put it outside.
Can do. Well, put it in the bag.
Okay, we'll leave it down there for the time being. Just stick with the trusty barbecue, guys. I love a bit of barbecue.
Nah, they're just good on their own.